What is up, everybody? How you guys doing? Let's get some free training in tonight. Answer some questions. See what we can do to kick you guys in high gear. Hopefully, last week you guys liked that free the live calls last week. That was pretty cool. So that was sweet. I'll have to do that again for you guys. I think I'll probably do that again. I'll do some more live calls so you guys can hear those. But put in the comments if you found that helpful last week. If you enjoyed that, you liked that, you want some more of that shit, let me know. I'll do that again here shortly if you like that. And then anything else you guys will find helpful, anything that you guys need, anything you guys would like me to do, let me know. As you guys know, I'm here to provide value. I'm going to come on again for a few more hours tonight, answer some questions, and do what we can to help you guys out and give you the real deal. So you can take this information and start crushing it. So let me know what you guys want to learn about tonight. I got a few things in the comments from this week. A few things that you guys want to learn about, but I'm open to whatever you got going on. If you guys want to come on here live with me, hit me up. Just let me know that you're sending me that you want to come on. I'll give you the code so you can actually come on here with me. We can have a conversation and I can help you. If you guys want me to look at any leads for you, if you guys want me to comp any houses, help you with MAOs, whatever you need, whatever you guys need. This is your time. I'm here to help you. So let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to look at a couple questions you guys had from this week. A couple things that you guys wanted to learn about. Let's see here, some of the comments this week. One of the questions we had this week was how to schedule time block while working a 9 to 5. Also, how to determine when you schedule an appointment with a motivated seller to do a walkthrough on the property. So I think that's a good question. A lot of people, this is kind of a side hustle, right? You're starting off by making a little side hustle here and trying to figure out how to do this part-time and still work a full-time job so you can pay your bills, right? So what I would do is, get everything kind of prepped in the morning. I'm not sure what everyone's schedule is a little bit different, but I would try to do all your data management in the morning, okay, before you go to work. So if you got to pull any lists, if you got to skip trace, you got to sort your list, or you got to get people's phone numbers. Maybe you're uploading them into a dialer or your text program or whatever you got to do. Get everything just kind of prepped in the morning, right? And then in the evening, when you get out from like 5 to 8 or 5 to 9 is really an ideal time to contact people because that's when most people are home, right? I mean, that's the best time. So just like yourself, most people are working during the day. So contacting them at night is always the best. So I definitely would do that. Get everything ready in the morning, sort everything, pull your list, skip trace, whatever you got to do, get everything ready. And then at nighttime, you get off work, you're good to go right at 5, 6, whatever time you can start and start making phone calls or start making texts or whatever you got to do, right? And do that from between like 5 and 8 or 5 and 9 every single night. And on weekends, obviously, you got more flexibility. So I would do that. And I also do a combination of driving for dollars on the weekends, right? You got some time there. So spend some time driving around, checking out new neighborhoods, looking for houses look abandoned, tall grass, tarps on the roof, right? They just kind of look in disarray. So do that on the weekends. And then just go right over to estesdata.com, figure out who owns the house, get their phone number, call them up, right? Very simple script. So that's what I would do. That's if I had a day job and I was doing this as a side hustle, trying to make some money, That's how I would do it: before work, after work, and then obviously on the weekends. But a great time to contact people is at nighttime because most people are home. Just don't do it too late, obviously. But I would do it Saturday and Sunday, right? So that answers that. Let me look at a couple other questions here we have. And as you guys have questions, you want to learn something, let me know. We'll take and we'll go off. I do get this question a lot. A lot of people is, what's your SMS verbiage? Like, what are you saying in your text messages, right? Guys, there's no secret, right? Everyone thinks there's like a secret list, right? What's the best list? What's your text message that you're using? What are you using for a voicemail? What's your phone script, right? Everyone thinks like there's a two or three secret words that you say, and automatically you say those words, you're going to get the deal. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. I really wish it was. There is no secret list, right? Right. I see someone just put in the comments here. Was a great niche for little motivated sellers, right? There's no secret list. There's no secret text you can send to someone or a secret thing you can say when you call them. My text is very simple. Hey, this is Nick. I'm reaching out about your property at 123 Main Street. I'm looking to buy a house in the area. Would you consider getting an offer? Hey, this is Nick calling about 123 Main Street. Would you be open to selling that property, right? All kinds of different variations. I don't use the same one, right? Because you're going to be hitting these people multiple times. If they don't answer you, wait a week, text them again. But I'm always changing my message, but it's always very simple. And there's not one text script that works better than another. You got to test this on your own, guys, right? You got to test this on your own. But like everything in my business and how I teach it, keep it very, very simple. Keep it simple, okay? But there's no secret as far as that goes. So I wish there was. How to find cash buyers. Yeah, I go into this pretty much on every single live stream. I'll do it again tonight. I don't want to get into it right now, but you can use estesdata.com to get it. And I also like Facebook groups. But I'll go into that a little bit later. I do get that on every week, and I'll keep on answering that so you guys can understand it. Maybe I'm not explaining it good enough, or maybe this person wasn't here last week or the previous trainings. I get this one a lot too, and this one has a lot of people are interested in this. The best way to find up and coming areas to invest. I get that one a lot too. And once again, there is no secret to that. I mean, there's motivated sellers in any market in the country. You can poke me down in any city in the country, and I'm pretty sure I can get a deal there, right? Because I'm doing the same thing. I'm pulling motivated lists. It doesn't matter where you are. There's motivated sellers in every single city. You just got to seek them out. Yeah, there might be a little bit more motivation in more depressed markets, right? Opposed to like a higher end, right? If I'm wholesaling in Beverly Hills opposed to Compton, right? There's going to be a lot of big difference there of probably the motivation, people that have money, maybe the people that don't, right? So that kind of plays into it. When I'm picking markets, I mean, I do have a criteria, right? So right now we're in about 8 different markets, I believe. So obviously, yes, I'm trying to strategize when I'm picking new markets to go into. But I don't want you guys to get hung up on this. I feel like everyone's getting hung up on the perfect script or the perfect market or anything like that, when realistically you should be worried about making moves, right? You should be worried about the loss of opportunity, not about this little nitty-gritty stuff. But when I go into new markets in my wholesale training, in my program, in my virtual one, I do show you how to find what I believe to be the best markets, right? And my criteria of how I pick markets. And I'll give you a couple things of those right now. I like to find markets that have a high number of cash sales, right? What that means to me is that there's a lot of investor activity, right? So there's a lot of cash sales, a lot of investors buying houses for cash. I'd like to find markets that have a lot of flipped houses, right? You can get that right on estesdata.com. You can find out markets have a lot of flipped houses. And I also like markets that have a high ROI or a high cap rate for investors, right? So in those markets, you're going to get a lot of people that not only are buying houses to flip, but also to rent out. And obviously, some investors like different things, but one thing that you can't deny is that investors like cash flow. So if you find markets that have a high cash flow, a high return on investment, a high cap rate, you can find all this information right on Google, right? So that's a couple things there. Okay. How to find an attorney title company. Sure. So super, super important. It's another thing that I go in heavily in my programs on, because this is one of the most critical things that you got to have is you got to have a really, really rock solid title company working for you, a closing company working for you, because they're going to be the ones holding the entire deal together, right? They're going to be ones that are going to bring that deal to closing, make sure you get paid, working with both the buyer and seller. And, if you have a bad company, they can screw it all up. So the easiest way, guys, is don't reinvent the wheel, right? Let's keep it simple. So what do you want to do? You want to find out who other investors are using, other wholesalers, other flippers, things like that. Who are these guys using as a closing company? Easiest way to do that is right inside Facebook groups. Okay, so go right in every single market across the United States. Like I said, I'm in 8 markets right now. We're going into 10. Actually, I'm going across the entire United States here. By the end of the year, we'll be in all 50 states. But what you need to do is you need to find local investors and see who they're using. Okay. So if they're working good for another company, they'll work good for you as well. So find out who other wholesalers in that market are using. And the easiest way to do that is to network with other wholesalers, right? And you want to find local real estate investment group Facebook groups. So it's super easy to do, right? Super easy to do. You just search up top, put your city in, go to groups, and you'll see a bunch of groups dedicated to that city or that metro, and find the ones that are real estate related. Join those groups and make a post, or search on the left-hand side. There'll be a little area where you can search, see who else has made posts about looking for investor-friendly closing companies, or make your own post. Hey, real estate investor here looking to find investor-friendly closing company. Who would you recommend? People in these groups really like to help each other. I can usually find a company super, super easily. Obviously, you got to call them up and vet them and make sure they do things the way that you want things done, right? Make sure they have split HUDs. Make sure the buyer and seller close at separate times, right? I mean, you got to check on things and make sure they do things the way that you want, and make sure they're very, very familiar with doing assignments. And I give that script, all that kind of stuff to ask your title company in my courses. But that's the easiest way, right? Let's make it simple. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's find out who other people are using, and let's use them as well. Okay. All right. And I get this question. I just saw this question come in. I'm gonna highlight this one. Do you work with realtors? And the answer is no. I don't work with realtors. I don't know why everyone is hung up on trying to find deals from realtors to wholesale. I mean, you're not going to find deals from realtors to wholesale. I don't know why everyone. I guess it's the easy way out, right? It's the easy way. They see houses listed for sale, and they think, oh shit, I can wholesale this. Well, I don't want anybody in my group trying to wholesale anything listed. It can be done, right? But you're going about it the wrong way here. What we want to be doing, our goal is to be finding off-market properties, right? Off-market motivated sellers, and dealing directly with us and the homeowner, right? And that's how we're able to get a deal, by solving pain points and solving their issues and having a conversation with them and providing value, right? It's hard to do that when we're going through a broker, right? First of all, if you're going through a broker, a house that's listed, you're going to have a lot of hurdles. One hurdle you got to deal with is you're going to be dealing with a realtor. They're going to want a commission. So that's going to bump the price up, right? Second of all, the realtor is going to want to use their contract. That's not ideal. We want to use our contract. If I'm wholesaling houses, my contract or the highway, right? I want to control that house how I want to control it, not how the realtor wants to control it, right? And you know, try signing a realtor's contract and then working with a realtor and then tell her you're going to wholesale the house, right? How's that going to go? Not very well, right? Third, you know, if the house is listed on the market, guess who we're competing against? Our cash buyers, the people that we need to sell the deal to. So if we're paying more than our cash buyers, how the hell are we going to find a buyer for that property? You're overpaying, right? Anyone that has a house listed on the market is not motivated, okay? So there's just a couple things. I can go off on a tangent on this, but I get this question. You got to understand, I get a lot of questions every single day, guys. So when I try and answer all of them, but I must get this question 5-10 times a day. And I tell everyone, you know, I haven't looked at one yet that someone gives me that's a deal. Because once again, you're going to be paying more than your cash buyers, right? If a house is listed on the market and an investor hasn't bought it yet, it's for a reason. What makes you think that you're going to be able to get it and then sell it for more than what it's listed on the market for? Unlikely, okay? Unlikely. So my whole goal, right, and in my programs and in this channel and this free training that I do for you guys is show you how to get these deals off market directly from the homeowner and find these motivated sellers that you can solve problems for and make a good commission or a good assignment fee and match those up with cash buyers, right? But it all starts with off-market properties, okay? All right. All right, let's check out some questions we got here. And like I said, anyone wants to come on live here, anyone wants me to help them with a deal, anything like that, let me know. We can do that. And also last week, I know I did that free live seller calls, right? And I think that was helpful. I got a lot of people reach out to me afterwards and they really enjoyed that. They're going to use the tips that they saw me doing. So hopefully you like that. And what I'm thinking about doing is actually getting some leads from you guys, getting your leads and calling your leads and trying to close your leads live. Obviously, I don't give a shit about taking a commission. I'm doing this for you guys. So if I can close it for you, great. So we can talk about that and how we're going to structure that. But as I keep on thinking about what can I do that's no one else is doing in this industry to keep on providing massive amounts of value instead of all this smoke and mirrors and trying to give you guys this much value and sell you this much, right? You know, what can I do for you guys? And I was thinking last week after I did that, I'm like, that was pretty cool. You know, how could I top that, right? I'm always like, how can I top that for my people in my group here, right? Maybe I can call some leads for them, call their own leads and make them money live on the air. That would be pretty cool, right? So maybe we can do that if I can figure out, you know, the structure of that. All right, let's get some questions in. And then we'll go over some other stuff. All right, new to the channel. Well, welcome. What's the best way to get leads in your option? Well, Estes data right here. This is where I get all of my leads. Oh shit, you guys can't see my screen. This is where I get all of my leads from. Right here, estesdata.com. You can pull 10,000 motivated sellers list each month and call those people, right? Pull those motivated lists, pre-foreclosures, houses that are vacant, tax liens, right? Bankruptcy, divorce, all that kind of thing. Those are all areas of people that are motivated or potentially motivated to sell at a discount, and you can solve a problem for those people. So that's where I get all my data, and then you got to reach out to them, right? You got to put in the work. That, or if you're just starting, you're on a budget. I like driving for dollars too. That's a tried and true, really simple way to drive around and look for some distressed houses. That's another good way when you're starting that doesn't cost much money. Okay, that's how I would recommend if you're just starting. Obviously, there's a lot more advanced ways. PPC is amazing, but it takes a big budget, right? I right now my business, we get a lot of PPC leads, but I'm spending upwards of $10,000 a month just for PPC campaigns, right? So there's a lot of things that I'm doing, but it all depends on where you are, right? Where you are in this real estate journey of you're just starting. If you're a little more advanced, and it all depends on where you want to be too, lifestyle wise, right? In my new course that's coming out, my virtual course, what I do is I map out all the different ways to market for deals. And what I like to do is more than just tell you which ones I recommend for you, but it really comes down to your lifestyle and your goals, right? Like, what do you want to be doing? Like, what's your goals for not only income, but what is your lifestyle goals, right? That's how I teach things. I want you guys to build a business around your lifestyle, not the other way around, right? That's kind of what I've been able to do for myself. And that's how I teach it, right? I keep everything very, very simple. And I want to create a lifestyle business for you, not a job. So, if you plan on getting a team, I think pulling a lot of data and doing some texting, things like that. If you want something a little bit more hands off, right? You kind of set it and forget it. Then we're talking about doing some PPC, maybe some Facebook ads, right? Some things like that where, it doesn't take much management and you're taking inbound leads, right? Instead of doing outbound campaigns. So that's a whole conversation, and there's a lot to that. That's a conversation that I have with my students in the Wi-Fi program. Really depends on your goals and where you want to be, how much money you want to make, but ultimately as well, what you want your day-to-day to look like. Okay, that's important. All right. Question: do you have a separate purchase and sale per state as well as assignment? No, I use one. I have one, a purchase and sale and one assignment, and I use it everywhere. Okay. Okay, hoping to learn what to do to start investing in real estate. So when I have the funds, I can start right. Okay. You don't need much funds. I'm not sure who this is. You just need enough money to do a little bit of marketing. I mean, can you drive around and write down addresses? You can probably do that for free, right? You can go to the tax assessor site, see who owns that property. You can do that for free. Then just use a site like truepeoplesearch.com. That's free. Find out who their phone number. Call them up. That's pretty much free if you have a phone, right? I can teach anybody this business on any budget, right? The first thing you got to do is get out of your own way. Let's not wait until you have the perfect time. Let's start this tomorrow. Let's start this tonight, right? You got headlights on your car. Start driving around tonight. That's the kind of action I want my students, and I want people in here to take. Let's not wait for a perfect opportunity to start making money. Let's figure out a way to make it work no matter what situation you are in life right now. Okay? And that's where I'm here to come in and help. You can make money in this business with zero money. Okay? And I can show you how, and I can show you the ropes. So reach out to me, send me a personal message, and let's have a conversation. I'm willing to help. I'm willing to do whatever I can. Okay? But one thing you're going to hear me talk about a lot on this channel, on these lives, is action, right? Speed. Speed is super, super important. I talk about this all the time in my company, in my trainings. Speed is more important than perfection. Speed is everything. I'd rather have you fuck up 10 times but take action, because you know what? On the 11th time, you're probably going to get somewhere instead of thinking about it over and over and months and years. And then you're like, oh shit, I can't do it because I can't do this. I can't do this. Well, you know what? If you start, you'll figure it out. You might fall on your face, might fail. Guess what? I still fail today because I'm always pushing the envelope, always trying to learn more, always trying to gain more market share, right? Always trying to increase my net worth, right? Always trying to keep that ladder going every single day. I'm pushing the envelope. And when you push the envelope, you're going to fail. So maybe I take one step backwards, but guess what? Eventually I'm going to get 2 steps ahead, right? All right. What's a good script when cold calling a lead? I can pull up a script here. I'm going to write a couple notes down here. I'm going to get through some questions here, but I've pulled up my script on a few other of these lives as well. But what I got to tell you is, once again, there is no secret script, right? What I would recommend is going back to my live training last week and watch me make phone calls, right? Every single one is different. You got to gauge who you're talking to. There's some steps of the sale, right? But I don't want you talking like a robot, right? And just going down a script and not listening to what your customers are saying and not trying to help them and not trying to provide value, right? It's all about listening, right? You're asking questions. A good script or a good thing to learn is only thing you're doing is you're asking questions. You're asking the right questions 20% of the time, and you're listening 80%. Okay. So I'll bring up some script stuff for you guys. I do have, obviously in my programs, I have full scripts, right? But same thing, I teach it not to read each line, right? It's the steps of the sale. You don't want to sound like a robot. If you saw me last week, it's all tonality. It's getting to know your customer, finding out how you can help them. And, following a script is not going to do that. There's a flow to what you got to say. But, the exact conversation is not going to go the same for every single person. Okay. So I just got up here script, and I said someone else that wanted to, I think it was cash buyers. All right. Okay. Hey, how's it going? All right. I talked to a seller. I'm submitting an offer to her tomorrow. Can you help me out with what I should offer on the home? All right. All right, my man. This is live. So if someone else sees this, just so you understand, call them tomorrow. Get this on a contract. Someone else does. Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma. Good market. I do a lot of deals in Oklahoma. All right, let me help you out here. What I don't know the condition though. When you guys submit addresses for me to help you, I need condition, because without condition, it's hard for me to tell how much you can offer. Okay. This one has pictures, so that's good. All right, so what I'm doing here, guys, is once again, you're going to see me live tell you how much you can pay for this property, right? And this is how long it takes me. I can tell how much I can pay on a property within minutes, right? If you guys saw my live last week, usually within a minute or two, I'm just looking at my screen and I can tell exactly how much I can pay for a property. And this is how I do it virtually. This is how I teach it virtually. I don't give a shit about a formula. I don't care about the condition. I don't care about any of that. Only thing I care about is trying to find what investors are paying for similar properties. That's all that matters. Okay, so this is like a rental grade property, right? It's not bad. It's clean. If it's still in this condition, it's not bad. Looks kind of rental grade, All right. Let's see what's around here. This is a pretty rural area, it looks like. So those are always a little bit harder to comp when you don't have much around. Let me see what I can do here for you, though. Help you out. And you want to know MAL, right? What I should offer. Okay. All right, so what I'm doing here, guys, just so you know, I'm looking around the area so I can kind of explain this as I'm going here. What I'm looking is I'm seeing what investors are paying for similar properties close by. Obviously, the closest one's the better. Number one right here just sold for $15,000 cash, right? And as you can see, this is very similar condition. This one might be in a little bit worse condition than the other one. But it's not bad. It's not bad. This one's sold for $15,000. So basically, in my mind right now, what I'm thinking, right, and I train my students how to do this. It just takes repetition. What I'm thinking in my mind is, okay, this one's sold for 15. The other one's a little bit better condition. They're both 3-1s. This one's a little bit smaller, but sold for 15. So my property investor might pay me around 20. But I'm going to keep on going down my list here and try to confirm that. This one sold for 32. Let's look at this one. So this one's nicer. This one's a lot nicer. It's sold for cash. So what does this tell me? This tells me that investor's not going to pay 32 for mine because this one's a lot nicer a property. Okay, I'm going to go down here. Another one, 10,000. This one's pretty rough. So, okay, so it's more than what we thought. So, right, more than that. So that was under. Another one for 15,000. Okay, actually that was that one. Okay, it sold twice. Blah, 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 70, 70, 25. I think this is about right? This is what I'm kind of thinking. So I think an investor will pick this property up. This is very similar condition. This one sold for 25, 1,100 square feet. I think an investor will pay something around 25,000 for yours, that property. And this one's 25 as well. So that means I would not want to pay more than $15,000 for that property. 10 to 15,000 is my maximum offer on that property. Okay. Hopefully you can see how simple that was, and I can do this as I'm on the phone with the person. But also you can see right here, estimated value is 32,000. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to blow this up so you can see this better. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but the 32,000 is the estimated value. And what you're going to find, most likely, it's always usually right around half, usually around 50, 60% of the estimated value is what you can pay. And my math was right. I said 10, 15,000, estimated value 32, so it's right about half. So that's about right. And I think an investor would come in and pay $20,000, $25,000 for that property if it's in the condition that I'm seeing here. Okay? Take that, close that deal tomorrow, my man. Hit me up if you close it. Hit me up if you need help closing it. Let's get you paid. Okay. Oh, another one. Extra room, you still use the comps. Yeah, so what I just said, 15,000 is where I would go on that. Niche list from motivated sellers. I already talked about that, right? Don't get hung up on the list, guys. You should be more worried about talking to more people. Talk to as many people as you can. That should be your main focus, not trying to find the absolute most niche list that you can. But if we're talking about lists again, pre-foreclosures, probates, vacants, liens, bankruptcy, divorce, right? Any kind of list that you think that somebody might have motivation to sell, right? And all those lists that I just mentioned, I've closed deals on every single one of those lists, right? But the trick is to be able to talk to more people. The more people you have a conversation with, the better chances you are of closing a deal. So don't expect to pull a very small niche list of 10 people and get a deal, right? You got to be talking to a lot of people, making a lot of offers. There's a direct correlation between the number of people you talk to and the income that you make, okay? Never forget that. I talk about that a lot as well. I feel like that's probably the number one reason, other than people just never getting started out of fear, is that people don't make money in this business because they're just not talking to enough people, right? They call 10 people and they give up. Call 100,000 people, then give up. If it doesn't work then the business is not for you. Until then, make calls until you're out of, your voice is gone and you're no more skin in your finger. All right. What's a good way to find buyers? COVID has restricted RI meeting opportunities and other face-to-face opportunities. Yeah, I mean, you don't need that anyways. RI meetings are good to network and rub shoulders and, have good people around you and have a good influence around you. But it's not an efficient way to find buyers. Let's be honest, right? You want to find buyers? They're right here. These are your buyers. If I have a deal in this town, this small town of Oklahoma, going to an RI meeting is not going to get the deal sold. What's going to get it sold is right here, data. Right? I was going to talk about this, but let's do it right now. I'm looking at cash buyers right here. If you guys can see this, I have my cash buyers on. I'm looking for everybody right here. 65 houses that have sold for cash within the last year in this little town in Oklahoma. So if I want to find cash buyers, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the cash sales. I'm going to go to the actual proof of the people who've bought houses for cash. I'm not going to go to a meeting, and I'm not going to do all these other weird ass ways these other people are telling you to find buyers. You want to find buyers, look up who's buying houses for cash. Let's go to the straight facts, right? Because half these people are telling you buyers, they're fucking other wholesalers trying to get your deal and resell it, right? Let's be honest. That's what half these crazy motherfuckers are doing in this business, right? So let's learn the right way. So as you can see right here, Real Core LLC bought this property. What do you think these people do? They're investors. They buy properties, right? Boom. There's one. So we're going to go back, okay? And I just go down my list. Okay? Pull another one, right? These are all cash buyers. So I want to find cash buyers for a property. I'm going to find out who's buying houses for cash around it. All right? Gonzalo. This guy just bought this property for cash for $26,000. Its estimated value is $72,000. Obviously, he's an investor in the area, right? Hit him up, okay? Right. So only thing you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be checking out the cash sales in your city or around a radius around the property you have, right? Right now, I'm just looking at a radius of 2 miles around this property. Right here again, Redbud Homes, LLC. Cash buyer. These are investors. They paid $15,000 for a house that's valued at $33,000. What did I tell you about 50%? Right, guys? You getting this? There you go. I mean, how simple is this? How simple is this? Is anybody else showing you this shit? No, they're not showing you this because they want to keep this for themselves. I'm showing it to you. Right? That's how simple it is. estesdata.com. You got a property to sell. I can sell the property within minutes. I'm just looking up who's buying properties in the area. I'm calling them up and I'm selling it to them for 50 cents on the dollar. Exactly like they want it. RLL Properties, here's another one. They bought this property, $52,000 they bought it for, estimated at $117,000. You guys getting it? About 50%. Okay, I think you guys got that. Hopefully you guys seen some massive value on that. It couldn't be simpler. And in my new program, I'm showing you exactly how to do this, step by step, hours worth of video going through this and holding your hand and weekly calls and everything else you're going to need so you can succeed in this business. And I make it simpler than anybody else. I guarantee you that. All right. Nick, I'm not sure who this is. I can't see you, but thanks for the shout out, whoever you are. Love you. All right. Love all you guys. I appreciate you guys being in here, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, when running comps for ARV, I've run across some square foot, but have an extra room or bath. I have a 2-1, 1,400 square foot, but comps are mostly 3-1s, 3-2s with same square footage. Don't worry too much about that. Okay, don't worry too much about that. If it's a 2-bedroom, it's going to be worth a little bit less, obviously. So you can put a filter in for 2 bedrooms, and then just use adjustments. Use small adjustments, right? And once again, guys, coming up with comps and ARVs and things like that, there is no exact formula. There's a lot of interpretation of what you believe it's worth, right? That's what a comp is. You could ask 10 different people, and everyone's going to give you a different price of what they think that property is worth by looking at the data. So what is a property worth? A property is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. Okay? So what does that mean? The same way as 10 people might give me a different price of what that property is worth. 10 different buyers may offer me 10 different prices, right? The house is only worth what someone's willing to pay. So our job in this is to come up with our best guess, our best estimate, using a formula, using our knowledge, using everything that I'm teaching you to come up with a value that we think it closely gets as close as we can to what we believe that value is. But there's never an exact price, right? Because there is no exact house price, because it could be worth one thing today, and then guess what? The prices go up, or something massive happens in the economy today. The price could go down tomorrow, right? So there is no exact price, guys. So what we're trying to do here is use our knowledge to come up with what we believe to be, try to get that price just as close as we can get it, right? But there is no exact price, so don't beat yourself up about it, right? And just the way the ARV, you might be off by a few grand. It doesn't really matter, because that's not our job. Our job is to try to sell it at a discount, and it's only worth what one of our buyers is going to pay for it, right? So just use some small adjustments, okay? If you're seeing 3 bedrooms and 1 baths going for 100, and you're seeing 3 bedroom, 2 baths going for maybe 110, maybe you have a 1.5, maybe it's worth somewhere in between there, right? So just use your best guess and adjust those prices slightly up or down based on what you're seeing other similar properties sell for. Unfortunately, there is no exact science to this. I wish I could help you out more. The only way I can help you more is, if we are to work, more one-on-one, and I can kind of go through this with you. But hopefully that helps you enough where you can feel confident and in doing this. Okay. San Diego, good market. You can do it. You can do it. I'm here to help. What's up? Okay, I've already answered that question. You guys hopefully all know my feelings on realtors by now. Daily reminder that wholesaling doesn't work in major markets, so either go virtual or don't try. All right, who's this troll here? What's going on here? I'm in major markets, right? I'm in major markets, and I'm cashing checks weekly. So DJG, appreciate the insights. If you're not closing deals, I don't know. All right. Hey, what's up? I'm not sure who you are. What about using realtors? Everyone's hung up on the realtors. Yeah, I mean, you can use realtors to sell your deal if you want to pay them a commission. That's up to you. I'd much rather keep the money in my pocket. Okay. I've seen houses with negative equity. Is there anything we can do with those houses? No. Right? One thing you guys got to keep in mind, when wholesaling, the person that owns the house usually has to owe less. Well, let me put it this way. The owner has to owe less than what you pay for the property, unless they're willing to bring the difference to closing. So if they're in a negative equity situation, there's probably no way that can be a deal. Because if it's negative equity, what does that mean? That means a house worth $100,000 and they owe more than 100. And we already know by what we've learned tonight that we got to pay what, usually around 50%. So we can only pay 50,000 and they owe over 100. the chances of them bringing $50,000-$60,000 to the table is highly unlikely. I've bought many houses where people buy $5,000-$10,000 to the table, but that's not a norm. Most people can't do that. Most people cannot do that. But there are certain people that, they just got in over their head with the property and, they want gone with it and they're willing to bring some money to the table to make it go away. We've worked those deals up before, but someone bringing a negative equity situation is very unlikely. I don't think you're going to be able to make that work. Okay. I live in a poor state, but real estate is bomb here. It's great. All right, good. I'm not sure where you live, but keep it up. Keep it up. All right, love that idea. I'm not sure what that was about. What's your opinion on foreclosures when you're not allowed to see the property prior to bidding on it? Well, you're not going to wholesale a foreclosure, if that's your question. Okay? We're not going to wholesale a foreclosure. If you're going to buy a foreclosure to fix up and flip, that's fine. I've done that many times. But you're not going to wholesale it, right? Once again, who owns a foreclosure? A bank. What do we want to be doing? Once again, we want to be dealing directly with a homeowner. We have to get those properties in pre-foreclosure before the bank takes it back when they're just behind on their payments. Once a bank takes it back, we're not foreclosing those properties anymore, okay? So if you want to flip it, I'm fine with that as long as you're comfortable with your numbers. You got to be experienced, right? I've flipped hundreds of houses and I feel comfortable doing that by looking in the windows or just by the outside conditioning and estimating what I think it will cost to fix it up and knowing the market enough to what it'll be worth when it's fixed up. But if you're new to the game, probably wouldn't recommend it. Okay? Boom, boom. I'm here. All right. Love it. Love it. All right. Let me know what you need help with. Hit me up. How can I join your Facebook group? Okay, go to Wholesaling Houses with Nick Estes. That's where this is being streamed right now. YouTube and my Facebook group. Okay, that's where you want to connect with me. My Facebook group is the best way, right? This is my community, my people that I'm constantly trying to help, right? I want to do wholesale. You can do it. Hit me up if you need help. I got you. What is the name of the data site? Right here. See it? It's running right across the bottom. Estes data, right? Right across the bottom. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here to help. Maria, what's up? Okay, it looks like I got your question. But if you're looking to driving for dollars, I mean, if you're in an urban area, I mean, just take a bicycle and do it, right? You don't need a car. Use a bicycle. Use a little scooter. All right, love it. People taking action. That's what I want. I want action. I have a deal in a small town. I can't find any buyers. I'm running out of time. Don't know what to do. Hit me up. Hit me up, whoever this is. I'll find you a buyer. How the hell do you comp a house when there's no data on the house? No rooms, no bathrooms, no square footage? I don't know. You got to get some information, right? I mean, can you ask the owner? I mean, that might be the best way to do it, right? Ask the owner. They might have some idea of what's going on with the house. That's probably a good place to start. And once again, guys, I'm not comping houses before I talk to an owner. I mean, that's a waste of time. I don't want you guys wasting time, right? What I say before this, right? I'm going to repeat myself a lot on these things until you guys gets ingrained in your head. Speed. Speed, 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 speed. If you're wasting time trying to comp a house before you even talk to the owner and see if they're motivated or they want to sell the house, What are you doing? I mean, if you want to do it for practice, that's one thing. But I'm not comping any houses. I'm not doing anything until, one, they said they want to sell. But most importantly, I know there's motivation. I'm going through a series of questions and asking them, when they want to sell, how much they want it, what the conditions like. Give me an estimated ballpark of how much you want for it, right? If there's no motivation to sell, I'm not going to get a good deal on the property. So I'm not even going to waste my time then, right? So I have to know they're interested in selling. I have to know they're motivated. And once I have those two things, then I'll go and do my work, okay? Then I'll do my research. And on that phone call, ask them how many rooms, how many bathrooms, what's the square footage. Plug it in with the address. Boom, you got everything you need, okay? Don't waste time on shit you don't need to be doing. Take action and only be talking to people that are motivated to sell, right? And be talking to as many people as you physically can. There's only so many hours in the day. I just had the conversation with my team the other day, but I'm just asking them, what can I help with? Anything I can do, right? I'm always checking in. And I thought it was funny. I got the answer the other day. Yeah, we just need more hours in the day, right? Because they get it. They understand it, right? You can only make as much money as the time that you have, right? What are we doing all day long in my company? Is making massive and massive hundreds and hundreds of phone calls, right? The more phone calls we can make, the more people we can talk to, the more money we're going to make. It doesn't come down to anything else. It doesn't come down to the perfect script. It doesn't come down to the perfect text message, right? All those little tweaks may affect a 1% scale of your closing rate, right? But the big adjustment, depending on how quickly you're going to start making money and how many deals you're going to do, comes down to how many people you talk to and how many offers you make. Everything else is irrelevant until you have that. And then those other little tweaks of trying to perfect your business, those things you learn over time and things that I can teach my students, those little tricks, right? That's how you gradually increase your closing rate and your close rate, your leads per deal, right? And your drop rate, and you get your average deal size up, right? Those are all the little things you can do to tweak that. But it all comes down to massive action and massive speed, okay? You guys can do this. I know you guys can do this, but I want you guys putting a goddamn foot down, right? And taking massive action with me. Okay, that's what this is all about. May I know which website you are using for this information? Right down bottom here, estesdata.com. Okay, it's right here. Boom, boom. See that? Okay. Thank you. All right, prop stream, boom, boom. Are you single or married? I am single. You're welcome. If there aren't any comps, can you go off? If there aren't any comps you go off on, are there anything else you can analyze the property? Or you just move on to another property that does have more comps? No, I mean, you can find comps for any property, right? And if you can't find comps, right, what can you do? I mean, you can use estimated value. You can use the Zillow's estimate, right? You can do, Realtor, Redfin. They all have some sort of estimate usually. Use that, right? Let's not make excuses. Let's do whatever we can. And let's find out if we're even close. Because what do we learn tonight, once again? If the value is 32, the value is 100 on this, even though you can't find comps, and you talk to the owner and they tell you they want 95, they won't go a penny less, then yeah, you move on. Because you already know you got to be around 50%, depending on the market, right? Hotter markets, you can be up towards 60, right? Maybe even 70 in super, super hot markets. But most markets, you're going to be around half. So it all comes down to what I said before. Make sure you find out if they're interested in selling and find out their motivation and get a price out of them. If they're at 50%, then then you start worrying about it, and then you start digging in, and maybe you take a chance on it, right? Based on the estimated value, if you have nothing else to go by. But at least find out if there's motivation and get a price out of them. If they want close to retail, it's probably not worth your time. Only be talking to the people that are motivated. If you were on my call last week, you could see, I'm going through those calls pretty quick when I was doing my follow-up. And immediately, the first thing I was trying to do was get a price out of these people, right? I'm getting a price out of them. What do you want for the property? Give me a price. How much can I buy you? If I could write a check right now, if I could drop a duffel bag full of cash in your pocket, however you want to say it, what would you take for this property? You got to get a price out of them. Never give the first price. If you give the first price, you lose. Okay. So get a price. Find out if there's motivation. If there's motivation, then move on. If there's not, kick them out the door. Follow up with them in a month. Any wholesalers in Florida looking to mentor? I'm in Florida. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure if this person's trying to mentor somebody else or looking for a mentor. Jonathan, hit me up again. I'm not sure what that means. All right. If I don't have a buyer list yet, should I work on that before looking for properties and talking to sellers? You don't have to. You can do both at the same time, right? Right? I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can cut down your sleep 2 hours a night, and you can pull buyers just like I showed you. In a matter of a couple hours, I can get you enough buyers that you need to do a deal. But once again, what are we trying to do here tonight? We're trying to provide massive value to you guys. And in order to get massive value, you guys got to take massive action, right? You guys can hear me saying this to you every single week, but if you're not making massive action, what's the point? Right? So what would I tell you? I would tell you start marketing for deals and talking to sellers. What's the worst that can happen? You can't sell it, but guess what? You got a lot of experience under your belt, because you know what's going to happen? You're going to make an excuse. Well, I don't have enough buyers yet. 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 And you're never going to get started. My advice is start making some deals, start making some phone calls, start getting some houses under contract. And if you need help selling it, I can help you sell it. If you're really interested, sign up for my program. I'll show you how to sell that deal, my 8-step process in a matter of minutes. Okay? If you have a good deal, it's going to sell. It's not hard to sell a deal to an investor at 50% of its value, right? You're giving somebody equity, right? You're giving someone cash for buying your property, right? You're giving them a massive value. You're giving them a deal on this property. It's not hard to do that if you have a good deal. I mean, it's very, very simple, guys. Okay. So I would recommend, if you want to build up your buyers list, do it in one day. Take tomorrow, get as many buyers as you can through Estes data and in Facebook groups. And then the next day you start marketing for deals. Let's not hesitate. Okay. Let's not hesitate. Let's all have a pledge to take massive action tomorrow. Or tonight for that matter. Fuck it. Make some calls tonight. Same question. Okay. Okay. My man, if she wants 18 to 25, this is a deal. You can get that down to 15. Right? You see that? We were really close on that, right? We were really close on that. You can get that. If she's at 18, I bet you can get that down to like 12, 13,000. And you can make $10,000 to $15,000 on that deal. And I can find a buyer for you by just this data right here, probably tomorrow. I could have $10,000 in your pocket within 2 weeks on this deal. That's a deal. That's a deal. Lock that thing up. I mean, it's not hard to negotiate someone down $3,000. Okay? If you need help with that, hit me up. But that's a deal. Okay. All right. I talked to a seller today. She says she wants a $7,000 back taxes and maybe 2,000 on top of that. Okay, well, I don't know the value, but I have to know the value of the property, what it's worth, what the ARV is, and what investors are paying for similar properties in the area. But it sounds like she only wants $9,000. It seems pretty cheap. All right, cool. Where can I submit a question? So you can submit them right in here, right? I'm going to pull them up right here, just like this. If you want to come on live here with me, you guys want to have a conversation, you want to put some motivation in your ass, you guys want to look at some deals, anything you guys want, I'm here for you guys, right? Whatever you need. So if you let me know if you want to come on live here with me. I'll give you a code to come on. Okay. How can I have a checks and balances system regarding a partner? For example, I get the leads virtually and send them out of state to my partner who boots on the ground. How can I be sure I get my cut of the deal? Well, I guess really the first thing you got to do is you got to figure out what the structure looks like. Are you 50-50 partners? Are you guys 50-50 in the work? I mean, the only thing you need boots on the ground for is to take pictures of a house. You can do everything else virtually, right? That's how I teach it. I mean, I pay my people $75 to do that. I mean, do you want to tell this person to give them $75 per deal? Or do you guys want to split the workload equally? So what you need to do, if you have a partner, a true partner, is you got to create an LLC. You got to create a partnership where you both own 50% of the profit of the company. When a deal closes, it goes into that joint bank account and you guys split it. But it really depends. I mean, if you guys are doing it a different way, if it's going, sounds like from here in this example, everything's going to be going in your partner's. They're going to be closing the deals in their name. Well, if that's the case, do a simple JV agreement. JV agreement simply says that you are obligated to get 50% of the profits of the deal, right? But partners are tricky, guys. Partners are tricky. So you got to make sure that you are holding up your side of the bargain, that you are doing 50% of the work if you're splitting the profits 50-50, all right? Because eventually, if you're not, what's going to happen is what? One person is going to be like, fuck, I'm getting 50% of the profits. I'm doing 90% of the work. And that partnership is going to go south real quick, okay? So what you need to do is you need to split up the roles. Set the roles up now, right? So maybe if you guys are doing it that way, I mean, you also got to figure out what kind of costs are getting incurred, right? Because most of your costs are going to be on the front end, all the marketing, right? So I would recommend having a bank account. You guys put money in, and then all the marketing money comes out of that, right? Or you guys do a JV agreement. One person is responsible for marketing for deals and getting them under contract, or marketing for deals and just locating the sellers. The other person closes the deal or just takes it once it's under contract and finds the buyer and closes it, right? So you gotta make sure each role, each step is clearly defined, so every person knows what they have to do. And then make sure you have the appropriate paperwork signed. Either you own a business jointly, or on each deal you have an agreement signed saying how the profits are split. And then you guarantee you're getting your cut when you have that agreement in place, because the closing company, you tell the closing company to make a check directly out to you. So your partner's not getting the funds and then you're relying on that person to give you a check. The actual closing company is splitting two checks according to your partnership or your JV agreement. Okay? All right. And what if you have a deal, a little cash buyer activity? Broaden it out a little bit. Broaden it out. There's buyers in every market. Okay? My Facebook invite says pending for days now. Can you add me? I accepted a bunch of people before I went on live, so I'm sure that you're accepted now. I'm sure that you're accepted now. Okay, so check that. If it's not, hit me in the DM and I'll make sure you get in. But I accepted a bunch of people before I started this live. Anyone wholesaling in New York, hit up Christopher. Hit up Christopher. Wholesaling now is probably, I would say 80% of my business now. I started my real estate career a little bit unorthodox. I started backwards from a lot of people. A lot of people want to start with wholesaling, and then they want to get into fix and flips, and they want to get into a development and that kind of stuff, right? I started different. I started I started fixing and flipping, and I have a big development business as well, where I build a lot of houses from the ground up, condo project, houses, developments, right? I do all that construction from the ground up. And what happened was I got burnt out with all that, right? There's a lot of headaches. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of shit that can go wrong. You have a lot of millions and millions of dollars out at any point in time. And I got kind of burnt out with that. And what happened was I was really trying to find a business. I knew real estate really, really well. I've been in this business 17 years now. I started in real estate, my company, when I was 20. I'm 37 now. So I've been in this business a long, long time. And about 5 years ago, I got burnt out. I was living in Maine. Okay. I wasn't happy where I was living. I knew that, that wasn't my future, right? I'm a big guy on, like I talk about as I train people, let's design a business around your lifestyle, what you want out of life, where you want it out of your future. And then let's reverse engineer that, and let's come up with a company that will work that way, right? So I knew real estate really well. And I'm like, what can I do in this space? I know real estate like the back of my hand. What can I do to be able to have the freedom to live anywhere I want in the country, be able to have a company? Also, one thing that was holding me back is I grew my company in Maine to one of the largest development companies in the state. And that type of company is really hard to expand and really hard to grow because, really, I'm more of a perfectionist when it comes to that type of stuff. And I want to put my eyes on all this stuff, and I want to make sure the job is getting done the way that I want it, right? I got to look over the project, look over the crews. And I wasn't able to expand that company. I hit kind of a wall. So what I wanted is a company that gave me the freedom to do what I wanted to do, to be able to travel, have a good life, be able to live someplace else other than Maine, right? And ultimately, a vehicle, a tool that I could monetize and I could grow as large as I want. So what I'm able to do now is I had a company that was only able to be in a small radius of around where I lived in Maine, right? Opposed to now I'm growing a company that's going to be nationwide here by the end of this year. And I'm able to live anywhere I want in the world. I can travel. As long as I have my laptop and my phone, I can run this company. And that's what I wanted to do. And now what I do is I take those profits, and I'm getting ready to start buying as the market starts going down, is I'll start buying up some assets to rent out, right? But I'm waiting for that market, the prices to go down. Prices are still really high, so I'm holding out. Once the prices start going down, I'll start going all in and start buying apartment buildings and rentals, right? So my kind of journey is a little bit backwards for most people, but I started at a place, and I know that space, and it's very, very tough. And a lot of people strive to go into doing development deals and doing flipping and houses stuff because it looks sexy, right? It looks like a sexy business on TV, but it's a lot of brain damage. There's a lot to it, and it's really, really hard to expand that company and really step away and not look over those projects. So you have to be on top of those, and you have to be on top of everybody that's working for you. And I wanted something where I could, give me the freedom that I was looking for. So hopefully that answers your question. And that's why I'm passionate about this business, and I'm passionate about teaching it the way that I do it, so you guys can have the same kind of freedom, and hopefully at some point be able to expand your company nationwide as well, or whatever you want to do, right? It all depends on your goals for yourself and how you envision your life. Okay, and there's a little backstory on me, guys, right? I don't talk about my backstory a whole lot. A lot of people haven't asked me. But if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you the truthful answer. I consider everyone in this group, everyone that follows me. You guys are. I'm here to help you. You guys are family. We're gonna be in this together. So you ask me a straight answer, I'm gonna give you a straight question. I'm gonna give you a straight answer, right? So let's do it. Looking to get into wholesaling, and I want to take action. Only thing holding me back is whether or not wholesaling is legal in Florida. Well, Jonathan, I live in Florida. I live in Miami now. And guess what? I'm doing it. I haven't got arrested yet. So it's legal. It's legal. Okay. More specifically, New York City. Christopher's looking for someone in New York City. Hit him up. Okay. Located Illinois, Chicagoland area is a possible seller. I have a possible seller, but need help with comps. All right, hit me up. Hit me up. Give me the address. I'll get you. Where do we buy the 100 videos of training? All right, so if you guys are interested, okay, if you guys are interested in any of this kind of stuff I'm talking about, if you guys are interested in me personally helping you, I have 2 new courses, right? 2 new programs. I don't like to call them courses because it's not really a course where you just get it and you're on your own. These are programs where I personally help you, right? I don't like selling shit where you just get it and you're on your own, right? So I have 2 new programs coming out that are super, super detailed on everything that I'm talking about tonight. One is made for complete beginners. If you don't know anything about real estate and you're looking to get your first deal, I have a new program coming out on you how to start bare bones with a very little budget, and how to get a deal within 30 days. Okay. Then I have another one coming out a little bit more advanced. I wouldn't say advanced, but it's made on how to do this business virtually, how to buy houses in any city, any state across the country. And more specifically, it's meant to be how to run it from your laptop or your phone, how to run this business around your traveling. It's really made for more of the entrepreneur, more of the nomad, how to run a virtual business. So one for very, very beginners, how to get your first deal. Another one on how to do this business virtually from your laptop. And those will both be coming out in a couple of weeks. And if you are interested, you got to send me a message on Facebook, a DM on Facebook or on Instagram. So I know that you're interested. I'm going to give massive discounts, probably about 50 to 75% off to everyone, the first buyers, because I want to have a big surge of helping a lot of people. So if you are interested in that and you want to learn about this kind of stuff, if you think that I can help you, right? I would love the opportunity to help you. And so just send me a message so I know that you want to be one of the first ones to take advantage. Okay. How do you overcome the fear of cold calling? I don't know. Pick up the phone. Okay. I know it's not really a good answer. I know that it's difficult, right? But it's like anything. I mean, you got to have a fear. You're gonna fail. I mean, shit's gonna happen. You're gonna say the wrong thing, right? I mean, everybody does. I mean, everybody says the wrong thing. I still say this wrong thing. I fall on my face. I jumble my words, right? I mean, you probably see me screw up a few times tonight. I misspeak, but guess what? I just keep on going like it didn't happen. And what am I gonna do? Am I gonna close the screen and be done with this live because I messed up a little bit? No. And the same thing with your sellers. You're a human being. I mean, what are you doing? You're just making a call to see if they might be interested in selling their property. I mean, that's not difficult. What are they going to do? Are they going to say no? Okay, hang up, call the next person, right? I mean, I think people overthink this too much. Everyone's really, really scared to make a phone call. I mean, why is it so hard to pick up a phone and call somebody, right? I mean, what are they going to say? I mean, they don't know who you are. I mean, they can't come through the phone and punch you in the face, right? I mean, you're just asking a simple conversation, a simple question. You're not trying to sell them something. That's the other thing you guys got to remember. You're not trying to sell them something, right? This is not a cold call like you get, like you're spamming somebody and you're trying to sell them something, like some calls that you may get. No, we're not doing that. We're not trying to sell something. We're trying to buy something. We're simply saying, hey, I'm looking to buy a house in the neighborhood. I like your property. Would you be interested in selling it to me? Either they're going to say yes or no. If they say yes, you say, great. Tell me a little bit more about the property, right? Have a conversation. Super, super simple. Don't overthink it. But one thing I will tell you is this. I'm gonna leave you with this. The biggest thing you should fear is loss of opportunity. That should be your fear in life. The loss of opportunity of not picking up that phone is much greater than the fear of that person on the other end of that phone that might be upset with you for calling. That loss of opportunity should be the greatest thing that you're worried about in your lifetime, right? Those regrets that you're going to have for not picking up that phone and not providing for your family and not making the kind of money you want or living the life that you want to live. The fear of lost opportunity is the biggest thing that you can have in this lifetime. Okay? You can do it, and I'm here to help you. And if you want me to make a phone call for you, if you want me to call one of your sellers and you can be on the line with me, I'll do that. I'll do that for you. Okay? You can do it, and I'm here to help. Okay, how long did it take you to close your first deal? Like I said, this probably question was before I told my story, but I've been wholesaling houses for a long, long time. Because what happened, back in the day, like I used to get a lot of projects. I was flipping a lot of houses. And eventually what happens when you start doing that is you start buying more properties than you can handle. So what I kind of started wholesaling when I didn't even really realize I was wholesaling, because I would get a project and I'm like, shit, I don't even have time for this. I got 20 other projects I got going on. I don't have enough guys to do these houses, right? So what I would do is like, oh shit. And I'd be like, I called my buddies up that were doing it too and say, hey, I got this project. I just mark it up a little bit and sell it to them. Right. So, yeah, that's kind of how that went. How to use a VA in your company? Sure. Good question. I have 2 VAs in my company, 2 really, really good guys that have been with me for a couple of years now. And they do pretty much all the marketing for me. They do all marketing and they do all the admin work. So essentially what they will do is it's pretty simple to take a list here from to download a list, but I'll download a list off Estes data here, and they will take that spreadsheet and then they will upload it and they will format it and upload it to get into a batch skip tracing to get the phone numbers. And then they'll take the phone numbers and they'll upload it into the dialer. They'll upload it into the text message service. They'll do all that kind of stuff. They'll actually send out the messages, right? They'll reply for me. When I send out voicemail messages, they'll screen and scrub all the voicemail messages when they come back in. And then the people that are motivated, that seem like they're interested in getting an offer, they'll put those leads into my CRM. So my guys in my office can call them back, right? My VAs aren't making any sales, but they're doing everything else on the front end to get leads into my company, right? And I train them. I just do simple screen recordings just like this. I show them how to do it. And it's very, very simple, right? So they're doing all the front end pretty much marketing. And I also have them doing a lot of the back end sales now for me as well. Where, like I said, all my buyers are right here, right? So I've taught them how to go in here. I mean, how hard is it? They're going through all these people, hitting the details button. And what they're doing then is they're taking down the buyer's information. They're skip tracing and getting their information, and then we're calling those buyers to see if they want to buy our deals, right? So they're doing everything. There's a lot of miscellaneous tasks in this business that can be VA based. That's what's so beautiful about it, right? So the only thing you got to worry about is the higher level things. So yeah, they're doing everything other than selling, like buying the deals and selling the deals. Everything else VAs can do. Like it's data entry, it's data work. I mean, it's admin work. It's simple. All that kind of stuff VAs can do. Okay. And I get my VAs. I'm going to get this question, so I'll tell you now. I get my VAs from Upwork.com, and my VAs get anywhere from like I think they get like $8 an hour, something like that, which is really, really good money for them. You can get VAs for like half that, like $3-4, but they're not going to be that good. You want good people working for you. So, okay. No, you cannot get phone numbers for trustees. You can't even find out who owns the property of trustees. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of putting a property in a trust, right? That's the beauty of putting properties in a trust. So let's say that I'm going to buy a property on creative financing or something like that, on like a seller financing. I'm going to buy that in a trust, so no one knows that I own that property, right? That's a beauty of that. So there's no way of finding that information. Okay, best advice to find hard money lenders for a first flip. Same way you would with anything else, right? What do we want to be doing, right? Let's not reinvent the wheel. Once again, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's not make this business any harder than it needs to be. Let's find out who else in your market. Hard money lenders are usually market specific. So join those real estate Facebook groups in your market and ask those questions. See who else is flipping houses using hard money and find out who they're using. Okay, so Facebook groups, Bigger Pockets, things like that are really good. Another way that's a little bit, I don't even want to get into it, but it's a little bit more advanced way is you can use PropStream. You could go into some of these sales. These are cash, but you can go into like there's lists up here. Quick list. You can go to flipped houses, and usually a lot of people that flip houses, they'll use hard money. That's what I use when I used to flip houses. I use all hard money pretty much. And what you can do is you can look up on what they're going to do is they're going to have like a note on that property. You can see that you can see who has a mortgage on that property, who the hard money lender is. So you can there's a reverse way of doing it, but it's a little bit more tricky. It's a little bit more work. But if you find any houses in your market that has been recently been flipped, you can go and you can see who has a mortgage on that property. It's all public knowledge, and that's going to be the hard money lender, and that's another way of doing it. But just ask other people, right, who they're using in your market that are flipping houses. Facebook groups are really good, really good. What are some great contingencies to have on your purchase and sale agreement? Like I have a super rock solid agreement that I've been working on for years. It's like rock solid, right? But I mean the biggest thing is what? The biggest thing is you want to be able to make sure that you can get out of the contract if you don't want to buy it, right? For some reason you can't sell the deal. What's the goal? You want to be able to make sure that you're not on the hook to buy that property. So have a contingency in there saying that, what's it say? I forget now, but essentially it says like the worst thing that can happen to you for defaulting on the contract is the loss of earnest money deposit, right? And I usually put out like $100 down. And you want to have a good inspection period. Make sure you have that in there. Make sure it's assignable, right? Make sure it says it's assignable. Make sure it says that you can market the property for sale, right? Make sure it says that you can do that. I mean, nothing crazy. I wouldn't worry about it too much, right? If you're just starting, it's not going to be a big deal. I mean, if you're doing 10, 20, 30 deals a month and you got a lot of properties out there, I'd try to like sure up your contract. Once again, let's not worry about the contract. Let's worry about making some offers, okay? But hopefully that helps you a little bit. Massive action. That's what I'm talking about. A beast. All right. Love it. Love it. How often do you go live? I've been going once a week, Thursdays. I might do more. Who knows? All right. We just talked about that. Would you advise having a website when starting wholesaling? You don't need one. You don't need one. If you have the budget for one, you can. Once again, let's not make, if you're just starting, my whole thing, right? And in my new program, if you're just starting, you're looking to do your first deal, you're not getting a website. Okay. I'm giving you simple tools. I'm showing you how to get a phone number. I'm showing you how to get all the Facebook groups in your market. I'm showing you how to find your title company, and like one other thing, right? Other than that, after that, in that first week, we're getting into marketing. We're getting into talking to sellers. We're getting right into it, right? A website's not going to be your greatest asset when you're starting to make money. A website's good to prove you got some credibility behind you, that you know what you're doing and people look you up. But it's not going to make you money out of the gate. My whole goal when someone signs up with me and they say, Nick, I'm new, I want to get started, I want to get involved, and I want to make some money. My goal is to make you money as quickly as possible. And the website will not do that. Okay, that's a strategy for down the road, right? So what we do is, how I teach this and what I recommend is we start very, very simple. Let's start off with those basic things that you got to be doing in order to make your phone ring, in order to get that first check, right? Let's break this down, right? We don't need a complicated CRM. We don't need a complicated way to get phone numbers. We don't need a complicated way to get data, right? I'm going to show you the simplest way to do this, right? And then from there, once you start making phone calls, you start getting some traction, you start getting some deals, you close 1 or 2 deals. Then we take in and we get a more advanced CRM, and we talk about how to automate that, and and then how to get a website in, then maybe do some SEO, and maybe then you can start doing some Facebook stuff, right? So it's gradual. If you start trying to pile all this workload on yourself, right, when you're starting, what I found is it just bogs people down. They're so overwhelmed with all these things that they got to do, right? They're so confused, like because people in this industry, they're just throwing shit around everywhere. And I'm sure you guys, everyone on this call can agree with what I'm telling you. There's so much information, but the problem is no one's giving clear instructions. Okay, day 1, you got to do this. Day 2, you got to do this, right? What you got to be doing and what you got to be focused on to actually make money. And that's how I try and teach, right? Everything I do is very, very simple, and it's very precise. And if you've ever seen any of my YouTube videos, if you've seen anything that I do, that's the way that I am. And that's how I run my business. So that's the way that I teach as well. So I don't want you guys getting bogged down with this. Everyone's coming to me all the time. What do you think about this website? Should I get this? Should I get this? Should I get this? And my advice is don't get any of it. Let's get the bare bones things that you need to get 1 or 2 checks under your belt and get some money in your pocket. Then let's start adding some other things in. Okay? All right. All right. Okay, we got a property. Let's do it. Let's see what this fucker's worth. 77 Susie. Court. Vegas. Here it is. 89110. All right, let's see. Okay. Pre-foreclosure. That's good. That's what it says anyway. It says a pre-foreclosure. So the estimated value is around 209. Looks like it got some liens as well. All right, so let's look at some comps. What's the question? You need some comps. Well, the comps are right here, right in Estes data. Let's, I don't know the condition, right? Once again, if you guys want to give me an address, I got to know the condition in order to let you know what I think you can pay for it. Oh, here we go. Once again, MAO. Same thing. I gotta know the condition in order to know the MAO. Without the condition, I can't tell. The condition is what separates a house being worth full value and worth being half value, right? So we got to know the condition. But I'm going to give you a general idea of what I think it's worth. I'm going to tell you right now, I think that property ARV is about 240, 250. Here we go. This house is very similar. Looks nice and clean. Looks like it is fixed up. So for 250. Another one here. Let's see, 234. This one's probably nice too, fixed up. Yep. See, nice and fixed up. So ARV is right around that 230 to 240. That one might be a little outlier. That might be a little bigger. Let's see, 20. Oh, they're all the same size, just about. I would say 240. I got a bunch here around 230 to 240. I got this one that was sold for 255, but to be safe, I would say ARV 240 on this property. Let's go to cash sales. Like I said, I don't know the condition, so I don't know exactly what this is worth. But let's just guess, I guess. My guess is, let's see, what's this one here? So this one for 145 cash, pretty good condition, so that's not it. 130, this is probably pretty close. Vegas is a hunter market, so it's going to be more than 50%, probably around 60%. Mm-mm-mm-mm. 120, I bet this is pretty close. All right, so this one needs some work. I don't know if it's this kind of condition. Right? But based on what I can tell here, if it's in kind of rental condition, needs some work, I would want to be right around 110 on this property. 110. Yeah, 110. 110 is where I want to be. And I'm saying that, guys, because I'm just looking at the data here. I mean, it's simple. I got one sold for 112, but all the other ones, right? 145, that one's a little high. I got one for 130. I got one for 139, 120, 120, 120, 129, 147. So what's that tell me? Cash buyers are buying anywhere between 112 and 140, depending on the condition, right? The one that's over 112 is probably in terrible condition. The one that's over 147 is actually not in bad condition, right? So I know if I'm at 110, I'm probably pretty safe. And if the house is in good condition, I don't know the condition of this property, and he can sell it for 140, and he gets it for 110. He's made 30 grand. That's great. But worst case scenario, he can probably sell it for 115 and make 5 grand. So that's where I want to be on that property. Okay. See how I can do this, and this is why my company's going across the country. We're going to be in all 50 states, all major markets, and because we can do this on a live stream. I can do this from my computer. I don't give a shit if I'm in Thailand, or I'm in Bali, or I'm in my pool at my house here in Miami. I can do this business just from my laptop, right? Would you say is almost guaranteed that if I sign up with you, I'll get deals back to back? Of course, with me giving all my, I mean, I can't guarantee anything, right? I can't guarantee anything, but I can guarantee you this. If you're not happy with the training, if I'm not providing you with a value that you expect, I'll give you your money back. I would hope that you can tell just from these live trainings that I'm going to give you my all. I'm going to give you all the help that you deserve, and I'm going to give you the best chance that you can get of succeeding. And there won't be anybody else that can help you more than me. And I do guarantee you that, though. Okay. I can't guarantee you're going to get a deal. I don't know how much your work you're going to do. I don't know that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if you're going to do exactly as I tell you, but I can tell you what, I will give you the greatest chance out of anyone will be able to help you. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And hopefully you know that from just my free trainings, that anything you pay me for, I'm going to go even more above and beyond for you. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. And if you bought in one of my other programs already, you're going to get the updated version for free. That's how I roll. I'm not going to charge you twice. Okay. Okay. Pulled up a list of 1,000 people on PropStream. We'll start finding the owners. Can I DM you so we can arrange a day we can call together? No problem. No problem. I need help with calling with a caller. He's asking 300. Need to talk him down. Christopher, how much is the property worth? If it's worth 300 and he wants 300, let's not waste time calling someone trying to get him down to half value. It's not going to happen, right? I mean, realistically, no one's going to be able to talk anyone into selling their house for half value if they don't want to. So there's got to be motivation. That's the first key. So how much is the house worth? You can always talk someone down a little bit, right? 5%, 10%, whatever you need to close that gap in order to make it a deal. But you're not going to get someone at 50%. You said Vegas is a hot market. Do you recommend? No, I like hot markets. Hot markets are good. Hot markets are good. Okay? Hot markets are good. That guy in that Vegas deal, I don't know what that deal was, but I mean, there's deals in hot market. The beauty thing about I'll break it down this way. The hot markets, it might be a little bit harder to get a deal because maybe there's a little bit more competition. But in hot markets, you can sell a deal like that. And investors pay crazy money for deals in Vegas, right? I mean, if it's in decent condition, I know people paying in Vegas like up to like 80% of its value, right? Like investors are just going crazy in these hotter markets and they'll pay like almost retail pricing. So yeah, it might be a little bit harder getting a deal, but on the back end, I mean, you can sell the thing in seconds and you can get top dollar for it. And in colder markets, it's going to be the opposite, right? There's going to be more motivated sellers. So you might be able to get more deals, but it's going to be harder to find a buyer. Okay. So there is some give and take on that. There's some give and take in that, but both markets, I mean, it doesn't matter which one you choose. I mean, if you do the job correctly, I mean, you're going to be able to find deals, you're going to be able to sell deals. So hopefully that helps you. Cool. I appreciate it. That'd be great. That'd be great. I'd be happy to help you. All right. So it looks like we got through some of the questions. Okay. So what am I do this? Let's go through. There was a question earlier on some cold call scripts. I know that's a big thing for some people. There's a lot of fear on the cold call scripts and calling people. So let's go through a little script. Okay. Let's go through a little script. I think that would help you. And I'll wait for some more questions to come in. I've been on here about 1 hour and 40 minutes so far. I'll stay on for another 20 minutes. I always like to do these like at least a couple hours, right? Not one of those gurus that's going to come on here 10 minutes for you guys, right? 2 hours at a whack. Only way to provide value is to actually have a conversation with you guys. I mean, it's hard to provide value and answer questions in 10 minutes. So let's not do that. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to give you guys as much as I got. So All right, let's do this. I'm going to close the screen out for a second, and then we're going to go over some cold call stuff. I'm just going to pull up a little script. If you have any questions, you guys need anything, put it in the bottom. Boom, boom, boom. I like this comment right here. You won't regret signing up with them. I'm not sure who this is, but I appreciate that a lot. Probably one of my prior students. Thank you. Okay, let's do a script here. Let's see what we got. Hold on, I got so many documents here, guys. I got scripts for everything. Okay. Oh shit, that's not what I want. Shit, hold on. Sorry. Right here. Okay. So what I want to go over here is a cold call script, okay? Now, this is not the script where you're actually going to be negotiating, right, on a sale. Okay, so I want to make sure you guys understand this. When you're cold calling, like I said before, only thing you're doing when you're cold calling is you're finding out if the seller is interested in getting an offer on their property. And your ultimate goal is to find out if they have motivation. Now, if they have motivation, then you go to, if you're doing a virtual, then you go into a script to actually try to pull out the pain points and get more information on the property and negotiate and try to get a contract over the phone. Now, if you're just doing this in your own market and you're just starting out, when you're cold calling, only thing you're doing, okay, understand this, same thing, is you're finding out, one, that they're interested in an offer. Two, you're finding out their motivation. And if they have motivation, you're setting up that appointment. Now, if they don't have motivation, you're cutting off the conversation and you're going to the next person, okay? So why don't you guys get something to write with? Get something to write with. I'm going to go through a basic cold call script with you, okay? Once again, this is the initial phone call. This is the initial phone call that you break the ice when you're just calling someone that they don't know you. You got their information from Estes data, you got their phone number, and now you got to start making phone calls, right? This is that initial call, all right? All right, you guys ready? All right, so if you heard my opening last week, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What did my opening say last week when I was making phone calls? Do you know what I said? Now, I'm not saying that's exactly how you have to do it. But if you know what I was saying last week, if you watched those videos, if you were on this live with me last week, put in the comment if you know what I was saying, my first initial word that came out of my mouth when someone answered. Nobody? Nobody knows? All right, either you guys weren't paying attention or you guys missed a show. Okay, so really the only thing I'm doing is I'm coming off like I've known this person my entire life when I'm making calls, right? I'm coming off like he's my buddy, he's my pal, and I'm talking, or my grandmother, right? It all depends on who answers that phone and how they sound on the other end of that phone. If it sounds like an old lady, I'm gonna have a tonality like, hey, like I'm talking to my grandmother. right? If I hear a younger guy that's, and I can hear some stuff going in the background, I'm gonna shoot the shit with him like I've known this guy forever, right? And there's a variation of that in between. But the whole point of this, and what I'm saying is, you want to be going into this conversation either way like you know this person. The first thing you want to do is, someone's got it right here. Look at this. Someone's paying attention last week. But you want to be going in like you know this person. So I'm never going in and saying, hey, is John there? Hey, is Mary there? Or whoever the person's name is, right? Because immediately you blew that call, because what? Immediately they're in their mind, they're like, oh shit. Immediately like, oh fuck, this person doesn't know me. This is a sales call. I don't want to be taking this. I got other things to do. Right? So what do I say? I say the name. Hey, John. Hey, what's going on? This is Nick. Then they're like, fuck, who's Nick? So they're in their mind, they're thinking like this. Automatically, they're not like, oh shit. I'm not like, hey, is John there? They're like, oh fuck. Either they're gonna say, no, he's not here. What do you want? Or yeah, or right, their tonality automatically goes down. They're like, fuck, this conversation is gonna suck. I want to get this guy off the phone as soon as possible, right? Instead, I'm hitting them straight between the eyes. Hey, John, what's going on? And they're like, they're thinking, who's this? But they perk up, right? They're like, this must be a guy that I know. They're like, and they start the conversation on an upper beat. I'm like, hey, this is Nick. And then there's an awkward pause. And I usually don't say anything. If it goes on too long, then I'll just say, they usually say, hey, like they don't know who you're talking about. They still don't know who they're talking to. But they'll usually say, hey. I'm like, hey, yeah. Then I'll go into whatever I want to say. But that initial first 5 seconds is super, super critical, right, guys? Because you want to start this conversation off on a high note. So have some enthusiasm in your voice. Be upbeat, stand up, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, right? Do whatever you got to do if that's what it takes for yourself to do that. But I'm going to that conversation, hey, John, right? Upbeat, right? You hear my tonality? Hey, this is Nick. Pause for a second. Yeah, I'm just calling about your property over there on 123 Main Street, right? They're like, oh, right? They're thinking to themselves, okay. Still doesn't sound like a sales call. They're like, I know this guy. What's going on? I can't remember who he is. Did I have a conversation about him with my property? Right? There might be a few things going through their mind, but they're not at a point where they're like, fuck, this guy is a pain in my ass. Right? All right. So first, number one, intro. What I'm trying to get. Say their name. Tell them who you are. And I don't say business. I don't say anything. I'm not saying, hey, this is Nick with We Buy Houses. Because once again, they're like, shit. This guy's from a fucking company. What's he want, right? No, none of that. So what do you want to be doing? So immediately you're breaking the ice, right? And then you go into, so once you introduce yourself, hey, John, this is Nick. Next line when you're cold calling is, hey, I'm actually reaching out about your property at whatever street. I'm looking for a house in the area. I wanted to see if you'd be open to getting an offer. See how simple that is? And it doesn't have to be the exact wording. Okay? After you do the intro, like you know the person, right? Simply ask them, hey, I'm calling. You can say, hey, I'm calling about the property at 123 Main Street. I like the house. I like the neighborhood. Would you be open to getting an offer on that? Or you can say, I've been looking around the area, and I love your property. Would you be open to selling it? Right? There's 1,000 different ways to say this next line. Okay, but And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't want everybody on this live saying the exact same way. Put your personality into it. But what I'm saying is keep it short and sweet. Don't go on a tangent and start telling them all kinds of benefits of working with you and why you're the best person in the world and why you should be buying their house. At this point in the conversation, they don't give a shit. And the more you say, the worse you're going to be. I want you to say, ideally, I want you to say what you need to say in the least amount of words possible. The less you say, the better. The less you say, the better. I mean, this is why people get hung up on this. They think they got to go on and on. But realistically, the less you say, the more you make. Okay? Remember that. The less you say, the more you make. All you're saying is, hey, John, this is Nick. Yeah, I'm just calling about your property, 123 Main Street, looking to buy a house. Would you be interested in getting an offer on that? That's it. You shut up. You don't say a word. At that point, they're going to say yes or no. They say no. Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. And then you hang up. And then you try them back maybe in a month or so. And you do the same thing. Hey, just following back up. I'm still looking to buy a house in the area. You open to sell them? They're going to say no again, probably. You hang up. You call back in a month. Until they say, don't call me again. Or they say, shit, how much you going to offer me? Then you go into the script, right? So that's it. Number one, basic intro. Introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Nick. Say your name. Don't say your company name, right? Keep it casual, like you're the guy next door, girl next door, and just get to the point in the least amount of words as possible that you want to know if they'd be interested in offering their property. That's it. Okay? And then from there, they're going to say yes or no. If they say yes, you say, great. I'm glad I got a hold of you, or perfect. Great, or whatever you want to say. And then you say, I just got to ask you a couple quick questions about your property. That way I can come up with a fair offer for you. Okay? That's it. Or you can say, perfect. Can I just ask you a few basic questions about your property so I get a better feel for it? Or can I ask you just a couple questions about your property so I can make an intelligent offer, or I can make it, or whatever it is, right? What I'm trying to say here is the next line is you make sure they realize that only thing you got to do is ask them a couple questions. Or you're going to say, great, I just got to ask you a couple questions about your property. You can say that too, right? That's even shorter. I want you to, once again, keep this short. You guys got this so far. It's super simple. Nothing to be afraid of. Intro, introduce yourself. Ask them if they're interested in getting an offer. They say yes, great. Be like, let them know you got to ask them a couple questions. And at that point, only thing you're doing is you're asking 3 to 4 questions. And out of these 3 to 4 questions, you're going to gauge whether they're motivated or they're unmotivated to sell. If they're unmotivated to sell, you hang up, just like if they're not interested in selling, and you follow up with them again. And hopefully you do this 6 times or 12 times a year from now. There's some motivation. Okay? That's it. Okay, so let's go into the questions. You guys got the 3 parts down, right? If you guys are writing this down, if you guys are liking this, show me some love. Show me some love in this thing, right? Share this live, right? I say this every time. Every time I'm on this live, I've been on this live now 7 weeks straight. And I'm putting this value up for you guys. The only thing I ask in return is that you guys share this live with your friends so we can help grow this group. No one shared it yet. 7 weeks. I'm giving out all kinds of value. Come on, guys. Share this live for me. Come on. All right. I'm not going to harm on you guys, but it would be nice if you guys would return the favor a little bit. Okay? All right. So first question. Okay. Are you currently living in the property? Pretty simple question, right? You guys can handle that. Either they're going to say yes, no. If they say yes, okay, great. You mark them down as they live in the property. Now, if they live in the property, that's probably on the scale of motivation, it's probably the least amount of motivation, because someone's living there is not as much motivation opposed to they say, no, it's vacant, or no, it's rented out. If it's vacant, that's the most motivation. If it's rented out, it's probably in the middle, right? Okay, first question down. That was simple. So once they give you the answer, you say, okay, or you say, great, or you say, perfect, okay, or you say, okay, good. Say whatever you want, right? One word is fine. Next question. You say, okay. Now, what about the condition of the property? How would you rate it between 1 and 10? You can say that, right? That's simple. So they're going to give you an answer. They're going to say, it's kind of shitty condition. It's like a 2. Or they're going to say, well, I just put a bunch of money into this property. I just fixed it up, right? It's in pristine condition. So you're making that mental note. This person's a 10. Oh, fuck. There's no motivation, right? They say it's in bad condition and it's a 2. And then before that, they told you it's vacant. Now the wheels are spinning in your head. This person is motivated, right? There's a motivation here. Okay. 2 questions down. And you can say that question however you want. The basic, what you want to get is just gauge the condition of the property. You can say it however you want. Once again, least amount of words as possible. Find out about the condition. Next, you got to get a price out of them. You say, great. Thanks for the information about the condition. Did you have a price in mind? You know, what's a ballpark or a range, or do you have an estimate of how much you want for the property? Say that however you want, but get a price out of them. And let them know you're not going to hold them to it, right? This is not like the end all be all, but I just want to make sure we're in the same ballpark. So, you know, do you have like an idea of how much you might want for the property? Keep it casual like that. If you say, how much will you sell? What's the exact price you'll sell the property for? They probably won't give you a price because they don't want to shoot themselves in the foot, right? But if you say, yeah, what's like a ballpark or like a range you might want for this thing, just so I know we're in the same area, right? So I know, you know, whatever you want to say, right? But just get a price out of the people and let them know you're not going to hold them to it, blah, blah, blah. That's the third question. Get a price out of them. They're going to give you a price. Now, you're doing this, you're going to have your Estes data up. And the only thing you got to look at is that estimated value. You don't have to pull any comps. You don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. You can have Zillow open too. Now, the price they give you compared to what the estimated value is, or the Zestimate, is going to tell you another gauge of how motivated they are. Okay? If the Zestimate or the prop stream estimated value is 200,000, and they say, I want 225,000 for it, there's probably no motivation. But if they say, like probably around like 150, wheels are turning again. Okay, great. This guy's got some little bit of motivation. At least you're starting below retail, right? Boom. Very, very simple. Final question. Okay, great. Thank you for that information about the condition. Now, let me ask you, if we can come to an agreement, how soon are you looking to sell? Okay, that's the 4th question I have. If they say, I won't be ready to sell for a year, not much motivation. If they say, shit, I'll sell it tomorrow, a lot of motivation, right? So once again, I'm just asking a series of questions, guys, right? And you don't have to use those same exact questions. You can come up with your own questions to gauge motivation. You can ask anything, right? You can ask, well, why are you hoping to sell, right? You can ask that question. Or, there's 1,000 different questions that you can ask, right? That was just an example. But the idea is to ask 3 or 4 questions, and all you're doing is gauging the motivation. But most importantly, the one thing you do got to get is a price out of them. So what I'm doing at that point, once I hear those answers to the questions, I'm gauging whether there's motivation or not. If someone tells me they live in the house, it's a 10 condition, they just fixed it up, they want above retail, and they're not ready to sell, that's not a deal. Don't waste your time, right? I want you talking to motivated people. Now, on the other hand, Someone says it's a vacant house, the condition's like a 1, right, or a 2. They want 75% of the value, and they're ready to sell today, right? They have that's a motivated person. And then you want to go right to the next step. Okay, great. This seems like just the type of property I'm looking for. That's what you tell. That's what you say next. And if you're in your local market, you're just starting, you sound great. That seems like a great property. What do you say next? What I've been saying this whole time, speed, 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 right? So what are you going to say? It seems like a great property. Are you available tonight so I can come check it out and make you an offer? Right? Speed, same day if you can, same day. Worst case scenario, the next day, but try not to go any more than that. Okay? And if you're doing virtual, you're just going into your virtual script, and then you're going to start. That's a whole nother script that I have laid out for my virtual students that are going to go through a whole script and then negotiate on the phone. But that's past tonight's training. So you see how simple that script is, guys? You see how simple? All you're doing is asking if they want to sell, and then you're gauging their motivation. If they have motivation, you're going to go on an appointment, and then you're going to negotiate in person and you're going to go see the property. If they don't have motivation, you're going to toss it aside. You're going to call the next person. See how simple that is, right? Let's go through it one more time. I like to be thorough. Let's just do this. I'm going to go through a script here. Hey, John, this is Nick. They're going to say whatever. Yeah, I'm actually calling about your property over there, 123 Main Street. Looking to buy a house in the area. Would you be open to get an offer on yours? You are? Great. I just got to ask you a couple basic questions about the property. That way I can come up with an offer. Is that okay? Okay, great. Are you currently living in the house? Oh, it's vacant? Okay, cool. What about the condition? How would you rate that between 1 and 10? About a 2? Okay. All right, good. And did you have a particular price in mind, like a ballpark price you might want for it? 200? Okay. All right. And, if we can come to an agreement, how soon are you looking to sell? Next week? Okay. That seems like just the type of property I'm looking for. Are you available tonight around 5 o'clock so I can come by and take a look at it? Boom. That's it. How long will that take? 30 seconds? Be quick. I don't want you guys wasting time. The faster you can get through your phone calls, the more people you can talk to. All right? What I've been saying, the more people you talk to, the more money you're going to make. If there's no motivation, don't talk to somebody for fucking 20 minutes. That's 20 other phone calls you'd be having with someone that's motivated. All right, guys? Hopefully you see how simple that is. And you don't have to do exactly like that, but that's just the basis, right? Like I said, the same in all my scripts. You don't have to say the same exact thing every time, but there's a flow. There's a flow to what I'm doing here. Basic intro, like I know the person. I'm asking if they're interested in an offer. If they say they are, I'm asking them a couple questions. I'm gauging their motivation. If there's motivation, I'm going to go to the next step. If there's not motivation, I'm going to throw it aside and follow up with them in a couple months. That's it. Hopefully you guys like this. You like this? Show me some love here. Let's get this going. All right, we've been on here about 2 hours. I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys have any other questions, anything I can help you with before I hop off tonight, let me know. I think we had a pretty good free training tonight. I feel like there was some value there. If you guys got some value out of tonight, let me know. I'm always open to doing whatever you guys need. So let me know if you guys need anything. Once again, if you guys want to be, if you're interested in my programs that are coming out here in a couple of weeks and you want to be one of the first ones to take advantage to get that big discount, make sure you hit me in the DM on Facebook or on Instagram, the two best ways to reach me. And I will get you the details and make sure you guys get that good discount. Just trying to provide you guys with as much value as I can. Like I said, there's a lot of weird stuff in this industry. Everyone's got an opinion. There's so much stuff going around. I know it's hard to really grasp but the real knowledge and what's happening. And that's why I kind of made a joke tonight about tonight's live stream. Like I'm giving the secrets behind the scenes that no one else is giving, because I feel like no one's actually really talking about how to do this kind of stuff, right? They're a bunch of smoke and mirrors. So hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you guys get a bunch of value out of this. What's my social media? Nick Estes, my name, my man or woman. I'm not sure this is, but my name, Nick Estes. Value added. Good. I mean, if you just join the Facebook group, okay? Anyone that's on YouTube, join my Facebook group. Wholesaling Houses with Nick Estes. And then you can, obviously I'm the moderator in there, and you can find me through there, or just look up Nick Estes on Facebook. Okay. Good value. Okay, good. I love it. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. I'm going to end it. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, and hopefully you guys got a lot of value tonight. I enjoyed doing this, and I'll do it again next week. I'm going to keep on doing this for you. I'm going to keep on doing these lives and giving value out into the community and see what we can do. So you guys know how to reach me. You guys know how to reach me if you ever need anything, okay? And I'm always willing to help as much as I can. All right, guys, see you next week. And I'm going to think about a way I can actually call your leads for you. I think it's going to be cool. No one's doing that shit. All right, talk to you soon.